much smaller. The first time I remember hearing about a population, it was about 500. When I went to work in the town office in 1959, it was up to 900, and now I think it's around 1,700. But in those days, you knew everybody. Farming was the main industry, and it was mostly Anglo-Saxon. If you looked in the telephone book, mostly Anglo-Saxon names. Now, it seems to me that at that time there were more varieties of business. For instance, we had 2 railway stations. We had a livery station, because way back then, I'm talking about when I was a child, it was in the early 30s, so still a lot of people came to town with their horses, and they would have to have some place to unhitch them and leave them while they went shopping, visiting, whatever. We had 2 hotels. One was the Western, one was the Nelson. Nelson is now the Carberry Motor Inn. Where the CBM parking lot is was the Victoria Hall. But we lost that in the early 30s, but that not only was a hall for concerts, but also they had movies there, apparently. And so we lost that for quite a while. We had no school auditorium to have concerts in, because the old school that was torn down was grades 1 to 12, so there was no room for any concert hall. So it wasn't until after the war when the IODE bought the recreation hall from the airport and brought it into town, and so now we have a place for concerts. Of course, we used to have a theater, but in 1955 TV came, and slowly but surely, like in all small towns, most of us lost our theaters. We used to have 3 Chinese restaurants. We also had a Chinese laundry. We had a shoe repair, a dress shop, jewelry store, barber shop, which had a pool hall for all the young guys. And then an exciting time came. Number 33 SFTS came to Carberry with all these Commonwealth airmen. I've looked in some of the books. There's many books that have been written about Carberry. If anybody's interested, I'm sure the library has them all to get information. And I didn't find how many airmen were here. They would be coming and going, of course, because they were on course, but there was a steady set number of people that stayed. But it was an exciting time. I'm going to guess maybe 2000. It's a very exciting time for Carberry. The population certainly rose in those war years, and then it kind of tapered off, and now we are in another surge. A lot of people like to retire here, and we have people from many different nationalities now live here. I find what makes it special, if you're friendly, most people will be friendly back, and that makes a great place to live.